Hey guys, welcome back, welcome back. It's Saturday, so it must be Warhammer time. Wow, it is crazy, stupid hot in here right now. It's ridiculously hot. Hey Hawk, moin, welcome Hawk. I don't know how hot it is where you are, Hawk, but it is kind of stupid hot here right now. I know outside it's about 100 and I'm in a very stuffy room. Hey Bobcat, hey Mads. So I'll see how long I can keep this up without actually physically melting. But I wanted to play, and you know I love playing with you guys every Saturday, so I didn't want to call it off, even if it's excessively crazy, stupid hot right now. I'm already soaked in sweat. I am less than a minute in. I am already soaked in sweat right now. 25 degree. Let's see. That's about 80 in Fahrenheit, more or less. A couple of points one way or the other. That's not cold. That's not cold. We're about, 20 degrees Fahrenheit warmer than that right now. I don't know what that breaks down to Celsius. Hey, Art, welcome. Welcome. All right, let's start with the obvious. Who has unassigned skill points that I need to be doing? 77. Yeah, so I was, plus or minus 80. I was definitely in the ballpark there. So, that's not... 77 would actually be perfect for us. 77 would be super, super nice. That's like an ideal temperature for us here. But no, it's about 100. That's 100, outside in the shade. If you're in the sun and moving around, you're basically going to die. That's how this works. Nightshade, what have you done for me recently? Why don't you have Draft Master? We'll keep you going down your blue line for a little bit and get you Lightning Strike. That'll be nice. Anyone else who needs unassigned skill points? Because I'm in the mood for giving them away. 37.7 degrees Celsius is 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, it is up, but it's not, at its zenith, at its apex, if you will. And it was about 90 then. So, we got that working out for us. Yastra, why are you... Don't be in March mode. Be in regular mode. And let's just see if we can march into the Troll Fjord. Hey, Adventure Gamer. Welcome, man. Welcome. Start a new campaign, Chaos Warriors. It is fun, but really hard. That's exactly how I would describe the Chaos team. They're fun, but hard. And you're basically going around smashing stuff, which is, as we talked about before, half the fun of the game for me is the campaign. It's the city building and expanding the empire. So when you're just going around smashing stuff and or erecting shrines to stuff, it's like, okay, it's good, it's fun, but I tend to tire of those a little more quickly. This is an overwhelming victory, but Yastra hasn't really had a turnout for a while. Let's just go ahead and fight this one. It might be a silly little battle, but we'll fight it anyway, just to give Yastra some exercise more than anything. We should have no problem with this. So yeah, I can live or die without the Chaos Warriors. They're fine. They're fine. They're fun for, I play them for like an afternoon, but I don't really expand on the campaign very much. I like the factions that have real campaigns behind them. 62 degrees Fahrenheit, cloudy and threatening rain. Wow, that's like 40 degrees colder than it is here. That would be so nice right now. So nice. And it's going to be like this again tomorrow, and I have to work tomorrow too, which is going to be awful. I worked last night, and the heat was really weird. It just kind of came out of nowhere. So it was perfectly comfortable most of the day, and then it just snapped like 20 degrees hotter. Don't know how it happened, but all of a sudden you go from perfectly comfortable to, oh goodness, I am completely soaked in sweat right now. Allied with Clan Mulder and the Vanaheim. The Norse faction, who won this time. Yeah, okay, cool. And the rats immediately settle all the cities they destroy. Well, that is a good symbiotic relationship. You're not wrong there. That's a nice little symbiotic relationship, so they just kind of work off the sweat of your brow. Let's do something very, very standard here. We'll get our archers up here, and we'll get a nice front line of my favorite Hargenneth executioners. Boy, I do love these guys. And some Blackguard on the side. You guys can come along and play as well. Not really sure why I've still got Corsairs kicking around in this army. Probably just because I haven't had a chance to get anywhere to train them out. Curry! Oh my goodness, welcome. Working on a Sunday, yes, well that's the restaurant industry, Curry. The weekend is the time you work. Like Mondays, nobody cares about Mondays. Although I do work Mondays, but yeah, that's kind of the nature of the restaurant industry, is that you work on Sundays because that's one of the busiest days. And indeed, it is one of the busiest days. It's going to be awful tomorrow. It's going to be absolutely brutal. What's the weather like in South Africa, Curry? Like what's South African weather in July? I genuinely have no idea. Is it hot? Is it cold? Are you guys like Australia where you have like opposite seasons? I just don't know. Let's get you guys lined up right here. And that should be about all we need. This should be a fairly quick battle. Oh, let me just make sure you guys are on anti-infantry instead of anti-large things. You, monster, you're probably just going to charge ahead with the other monster and eat things. That's going to be your job. You're going to go ahead and eat everything. Winning the campaign will be hard. You have to destroy the Empire, Bretonnia, and the Dwarves, and Lothar. Oh, lots of luck with that. Good luck with that one, especially the Dwarves. They get dug in deep, and their territory is hard to move around in. They have all those mountain passes and things. Oh, yeah, these guys aren't having a good day at all. Oh, no, they're having a terrible day. Yeah, because you guys basically have, like, no armor, and I'm shooting you with a lot of things. So, you know, your day's basically messed up at this point. Anything fun you can be doing? Oh, yeah, Noxious Breath. Let's do that. On these guys. Go ahead and just Noxious Breath them on up. Oh, I don't really want to send a monster into spears, so I'll send it into axes. Okay, that makes sense. You can go charge those ice trolls. South Africa has winter now. It's in the southern hemisphere. Okay, cool. So it's like opposite day in South Africa. Neat. Right, and you can charge into there. You can back these guys up. This will not take long now that the archers have joined the team. You guys have already broken after having your breath noxiously noxized. However that may work out. You guys can go over there. Am I missing a monster? No, it's fine, it's fine. You know what, sure, the Harpies never have any fun. Send the Harpies in there as well. It's cold there. I never think of any part of Africa as being cold, but I suppose you are in the very southernmost hemisphere, hence the name South Africa. The hint is in the title, kids, and windy. I never think of South Africa as being cold. You know, I think temperate, maybe. Hot, sure, but I guess, yeah, you guys are way down there. I suppose it probably gets pretty cold. That's my knowledge of geography, basically nil. Zero knowledge of geography, including my own. I was IDing someone at the restaurant I work at yesterday, and they were from my state, and I did not recognize where they lived. I'm like, where is this town? You cannot tell me that this town exists. And apparently it does. So my knowledge of geography is pretty much zero. Yes, Art raises a valid point. Justify and define the term cold. Because cold for us is like below zero. Whatever that may be in Celsius. I almost said centigrade, which would be odd because that's not the correct word. So define your parameters for cold. Not exactly the case. Antarctica is also in the south, and that's pretty damn cold. The coldest area on the planet. Yes, I know I am familiar with Antarctica being cold. That part I'm pretty clear on. That's why we don't live there. We've made a solid choice that that's a stupid place to live. There's like, I don't know, 3 penguins and 1 scientist living down there. Areas like Joburg, it gets snow. Okay, you get snow down there. See, I would not have thought of that. I just don't generally think of South Africa and snow. It's like 16 degrees Celsius, so let's see, that's 32, 62. Okay, yeah, that's not cold. Yeah, 16 degrees Celsius is not cold. That's barely brisk in my world. Yeah, cold for us is don't go outside or you'll die. Not like Minnesota cold. Minnesota cold is you actually will die. I've known some folks from that area, and there are times when you're just literally not supposed to go outside because it's that kind of cold. Much like Antarctica, I would imagine. We will loot and occupy the Troll Fjord, because fjord is a fun word to say. Oh my god, another elf servant, what a shock. I think we can definitely populate an entire town with elf servants. It'll be Elf Servantville. It'll be fun. So, what else don't we have here? We have Pack Ice Bay. Yeah, we need to get Bjornling's Gathering under our belt. How are we best going to get over there? We can get over that way, or we can get up this way. Yeah, kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other, really, isn't it? Why don't you just go back to Pack Ice Bay for right now? Just hang out over there, and then I want to check back in Lustria because there's some heated action going on there. Oh yes, Abioth, right. You're finally coming back from your extended vacation of about 100 turns. We're talking weather. We are indeed talking weather, Willow. Minus 70 degrees Fahrenheit here. That's not... Oh, wait, I'm misreading that. It's about 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, I'm reading the screen from about 2 feet away, so your little approximate thing looked like a minus, and I thought it was minus 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and I assumed you were dead and typing this from the grave, because that weather would kill you. Not even close to Antarctica. The temperatures in Antarctica can be like minus 100 degrees Fahrenheit. No, I was merely making the comparison that cold is cold. I don't want to live in cold. I don't want to live in heat. I'd like to live in about 70 degrees all the time. So really I should just move to San Diego, because that's pretty much the world's most perfect climate. So yeah, that Ghost Willow. Yes, indeed. I saw approximately 70, and I read that as negative 70, and then we're right back to Antarctica. And I figure Willow lives in Antarctica, which is fine. That's a place you can live. You shouldn't, but it is technically a place you could live. Oh, right. Yes, Ravenna. I was going to have you just smash this rebel army just to get them out of the way. Oh, now they're running away. Okay, bye. And you're not going to be able to make it up there, are you? Nope, not quite. Okay, can you get into channeling then? Yeah, why don't you replenish for a little bit? And Marathi, you're not going to be able to make it over there either. I'd love to know where Mengalox here is going. Did you know, with Bobcat, the Apollo guidance computer used specially made rope memory. This memory, thank you. I experienced 3 degrees Celsius in Pretoria, and I was not prepared. Yeah, that is pretty cold. I mean, we would say that's cold. A New Englander would say, yeah, that's cold. But that's not crazy cold. That's manageable cold. That's typical cold. We'd be pretty thrilled if we had that, because that's going to be, let's see, about 36 degrees Fahrenheit, give or take a couple of points one way or the other. That's manageable. That's cold. I'm not saying that's not cold. I'm saying if we had that all winter, we'd consider that a mild winter. We consider that a manageable winter. Some areas in Russia can be like minus 70 to minus 80. Well, yeah, but they're Russians. They can just run around in that in shorts and no shirt. So they're Russians. They're somehow superpowered, immune to cold. Moving to New Mexico. Oh, yeah, that's going to be way different. Way different. That's probably going to be pretty hot, I imagine. Hero not moved. Whom, please? Oh, you guys, right. Do I have Carrickzorn actually under siege? It is under siege. Okay. And we don't want to try and press in because this is a tough nut to crack. Oh, yeah, it sure is. Boy, holy moly, that's a tough nut to crack. Okay, is there anyone I could be assassinating down here just while I'm kicking around? I think there is. I just can't get to my assassin. There he is. Are you exhausted? No, you're pretty good, actually. Go ahead and give that a shot. Critical success. Nice. Took him out forever. Excellent. This memory type has proven more stable than even modern RAM used in PCs. 3 degrees Celsius is not cold. That's even above freezing point of water. Right. I think it's all in comparison, Hawk. I mean, you're kind of being a Sith there and dealing in absolutes. I think it's in comparison. Like, right now, it's 100 degrees. That's hot. But I'm sure there are places that are hotter. Death Valley, for instance, which is pretty much over 100 degrees all year round. It's all in comparison. I mean, I'm not saying that 3 degrees Celsius is cold or not cold. I'm saying if we had 3 degrees Celsius in a New England winter, all winter, we would consider that to actually be a mild winter, because we can very, very commonly get well below 0 Fahrenheit commonly. I mean, on a regular basis. And that's when, it starts to get a little crazy around here. When you lived in Mississippi, you had students from Russia. They had a horrible time in the summer. Yeah, I would imagine they would. But although I somehow feel Russians are just immune to weather. I hear you that they were having a hard time in the summer, but I feel they're just immune to things. In northern Germany, we have 0 degrees Celsius, while southern Germany, they have minus 20 degrees Celsius on a regular basis. Now, see, that's cold. And again, in comparisons, Hawk, in comparisons, that's cold. Minus 20 is very cold. What do I need to do here? Oh, right. We took this area. We need to set up a a commandment here. How about, how many slaves have we got here? Not a lot. Not a lot at all. Oh, how about just, yeah, extra money. That's fine. Extra tax rate. Damaged building. Right, the Troll Fjord. The port is kind of locked in. And what is this going to be? It will be level 2. Okay, when it is level 2, I'll start putting a better garrison there. That will be fine. Russia can be really hot in the summer. Well, apparently those Russians weren't used to dealing with it. It's the humidity in Mississippi that gets you. Yeah, it's, we can be humid or not humid. Well, New England weather is just, it's roll a dice. Roll a dice every day. It is incredibly mercurial and changeable at any given point. So, like we were talking about yesterday, we could go from this to snow, and that would honestly not surprise anyone. New Englanders would go from a 100-degree day to snow and go, yep, that happened. And then we'd moan about it, because all we do is talk about the weather. Talking about Russia, we should remember how freaking huge that country is. It is an awfully big country. You are correct, Hoff. Awfully, awfully big. Very, very, very big. Why do I have quartermaster? Oh, yeah, upkeep minus 8%. That wouldn't be bad. But why don't you have lightning strike? Because that is situationally very useful. And then sometimes not. Sometimes not. Weather is way different in different parts of Russia. Right. That's why the weather is way different here. We've got again, comparison talk. Now, let's not draw absolutes. Russia is a very big country. So is the United States. The United States is a very big country, and we have radically different climates all over the place. All over the place. There's no such thing as consistent climates here, because we're pretty big. Argyle, my favorite sweater, what would you like to do? Why don't you... Yeah, let's get you better at being fighty again. Oh, never mind. Immortality is up. I missed it at level 20. Yeah, always be immortal. That's just good math. Oh, you got 2 skill points. Good job, Argyle. Well done, well done. Why don't you... What's Shroud of Darkness? Oh, physical resistance, 20%. Yeah, why would I not want that? I always want that. No one would say the climate in Alaska is like the climate in Hawaii. Yeah, actually, I should have defined that, Hawk. The continental United States. I was actually mentally not including Alaska and Hawaii because they're, yes, they're technically part of the United States, but they're also in a completely separate part of the world. So I should have said continental United States, the parts that are all attached together, the 48, and then the other 2 that are. Why did we get Hawaii? Bobcat, you must know this. Why do we have Hawaii? What was our point there? Like, why didn't we just grab some other stuff while we were in the neighborhood? Like, I don't know, Japan. Why is Japan not a state? Why did we get Hawaii? Bobcat, I'm sure, knows that. Or if he doesn't, somebody Google this. Like, I'm not saying when did we get it, when did it become a state. I'm saying what was the impetus behind it. How did we, first of all, figure out that Hawaii existed and then say, we're going to make that a state? Apart from the fact that it's very beautiful and tropical and, that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not saying we shouldn't have. I'm just saying that, why did that happen? Like, who said, hey, check that place out over there. Let's go annex that a little bit, huh? This is the shirt of conversation I hear regularly on public transport, waiting rooms, restaurant, and bars. Well, everywhere, every day in Britain. Weather? Yeah, well, pretty much British and New Englanders, because we're basically of the same stock, talk about the weather, because we don't really have a heck of a lot else to talk about. Climate in New Hampshire is the same as the climate in Mississippi. Oh, yeah, they're completely different. Completely different. You could really make a claim that the climate in Maine is different than the climate in Massachusetts, and we're only 2 states away. I think I would... I'm not from Maine, and I challenge anyone from Maine to agree or disagree with me. I would say their climate is slightly more consistent. It makes sense, whereas Massachusetts is just all over the map, man. It's all over the map. Probably a military acquisition, which is exactly why I was asking Bobcat. I think Bobcat probably knows my Hawaii thing. It certainly seems like a military acquisition. It seems like it's a strategic point on the globe that we might want to occupy. But, like, who said Hawaii? Lord Mazdamundi, you want peace with me. You can go away. Oh, wow, you're offering me a ton of money for that, too. But the thing is, Lord Mazdamundi, I have a surplus of 22,000 a turn, so I don't need your 10,000. Sorry, I actually do plan to wipe you off the map. Sorry, nothing personal, you understand. It's just you have land and I want it. That's kind of the heart of war. You're going back to Pahaux. That's fine. Here we go. I knew Bobcat would know it. Became a U.S. territory as the result of the Spanish-American War. Huh. I did not know that. Well, obviously I didn't know it. That's why I asked the question, but I didn't see that one coming. And a permanent naval base in Cuba. Cool. Alaska is the largest state in the USA. Yes, I think we're all pretty familiar with that. The total area of the USA is blah, blah, blah. It's what he said. Okay. A bunch of square miles. Yes, but I think Alaska has, well, fairly consistent weather in that it's nominally cold a lot of the time, and then there's brief periods where it isn't. But basically cold. Basically cold. Yes, it is the largest state in the USA. That's true. But going back to the original thing, when I was talking about radically different climates in the U.S., I specifically meant mentally the continental United States, and not including Hawaii and Alaska. So there we go. Spanish-American War. That's when we got Hawaii. Also gained the Philippines and Puerto Rico. Boy, we got a lot out of that deal. That's like a Total War Three Kingdoms deal. We're trading territories. We've got diplomatic relations with people. Oh, nice. 20% of the total U.S. territory. Okay, here's my next question, Hawk. But so in terms of actual land mass, it's 20% of the U.S. territory. But what is the actual population breakdown? Like, I would imagine that it's one of the smaller, not the smallest, but one of the smaller populated areas of the U.S. It may be the largest, one of the largest parts of the U.S., or the largest, but I bet it's one of the least populated. I think Montana. I could be totally wrong. I believe Montana is the least populated U.S. state. But I'm sure Hawk is frantically typing to correct me. But I've got to figure Alaska's in the top 5 as least populated because just nobody wants to live there. Sure, there are cities, but, I mean, in terms of like, I don't know. Long story short, what do you got, Hawk? What do you got? Oh, there we go. 737,000 inhabitants. Yeah. Now, what is, because I don't have access to a calculator, what's the breakdown of people per square mile? What's the per capita breakdown? I bet that is, I'm just kind of looking at the two numbers, that's got to be far less than one person every square mile. So technically, nobody lives there. It's kind of like the Burn in Ireland. There are so few people that technically nobody lives there. It actually doesn't come up as a population. California used to be the most populated. That's probably changed. Yeah, you're probably right. Oh, Wyoming. I meant Wyoming. Okay, I know that sounds like I'm dialing back there, but I said Montana. I actually did mean Wyoming. I knew that. I totally knew that. That's how underpopulated Wyoming is. People just forget it exists. Like, wait, what? We've got a Wyoming now? Alaska is far less densely populated. 1.26 people per square mile. Okay, so it does technically register as having a population. And California is by far the most populated state. Yeah, that's not surprising. Nobody is surprised by that. I'm sure New York is probably a contender just for New York City alone. What else is probably a contender? I bet Florida is very heavily populated. I would guess Florida. And, I was going to say Texas is heavily populated, but Texas is also very, very big. So I don't know what the per capita breakdown goes in on that. 39.6 million Californians. Yeah, that's why the presidential candidates fight over it. Thinking Texas for most populated. Yeah, I am too, but are we counting just flat population? I guess we are. I mean, we are. We're saying 39.6 million means it's the most populated. But Texas is so big, it's more spread out. Texas has 28 million. Okay, so it's definitely well below California, but it's got a ton of people. Yeah, 11 million is not a small number at all. But it's up there. It's up there as very, very populated. Just out of curiosity, because I don't know my own geography, what's the population of Massachusetts, Hawk? And if you can spell Massachusetts quickly, God bless you, because none of us can. California is pretty big. Yeah, it's long and thin. It's basically like the whole West Coast, sort of. I know it's not technically the whole West Coast, but it kind of feels like it is. So yeah, what do you got for Massachusetts? How many people live next to me? Because it seems like a lot. It seems like more than I really need. Who are you? Oh, the Neckarch Brotherhood. What do you want, a non-aggression pact? Am I fighting with you? Oh, no, you've brought this up before. I'm not fighting with you right now, but I'm kind of reserving the right to fight you later. because you have a piece of land that I probably am going to want in the future, so no to the non-aggression pact. Thank you for asking, but I kind of probably want to go to war with you later, and I really can't afford to be breaking any more treaties right now. 6.9 million. Okay, so pretty low on the population thing, but I am going to guess, here's your next math project, Hawk, I'm going to guess very densely populated. So we are a very, very tiny state. And to pack 21.3 million people into sorry, I just read Florida, 6.9 million people into a very tiny state, I bet we're very tightly packed in. I'd be curious what the ratio of people per square mile is in my state. Florida is 21.3. I would have figured more. I would have thought more of there. Just because so many people live there. I mean, they clearly don't. 21.3 million people live there. But you always hear like, oh, we're all moving to Florida when we get old. Everybody's going to move to Florida when we get old. And indeed they do. It is a huge retirement state. The landmass of Florida is way smaller than most people think. I think it's quite small. I would not be surprised by that. I think it's very small. Right. Fascia, you're at full strength. Can you... Why can't you attack this army? What's your deal, Fascia? What is your problem? You can't even move. Oh, because you're putting this people under siege. Never mind. Sorry, Fascia. Continue the siege. I'm sorry. That's why you're over there. Okay, let's wrap up Ravenna with these guys, unless they retreat again. And they do. Super. Can you just squeeze over there? Nope, you can't. Okay. All right, maybe I just let them run around. 840 per square mile. That's a lot of people in a square mile. That's a lot of people in a square mile. That's very tightly packed, in my opinion. I'm sure there's much more densely populated places of the planet. In fact, I'm sure we're not even on the list. But in terms of Florida's 384. Okay, so about half, give or take. Again, not an absolute number, Hawk. I don't have a calculator, but about half. So we basically have double the number of people per square mile, give or take. More or less, sort of, mezza kind of thing. Fair enough. You, Marathi, why don't you keep pushing towards the Shrine of Sotek, because you are actually fully healed, which is good, and you'll be able to make it there the next turn. There's no way he's going to be... I say there's no way he's going to be able to get over there to reinforce it. It's not completely out of the question. It's not completely out of the question. Okay, I'm going to let that sit, and we'll push into the Shrine of Sotek next time. What's going on up north right now? Right, we are going... How healed up are you? Because you should not even be taking much damage. Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. And you should be level 2 by now. So yeah, why don't you start getting a better garrison? Good, do that. And what else do I need to know about? How are things going in old Ulthuan? How are things going in Ulthuan? Oh, do we have you under siege? Oh no, this is mine. This belongs to me. Okay, right, we got that. Elysia, what are you doing? Okay, yeah, well, you could do some more public order. That's fine. I'm down with that. I'd love to take Tor a chair away from... Tor a chair in half? Terrible furniture. I'd love to take that place away from Nagaron, but then I just like to confederate with Nagaron in general. Most densely populated country on the planet is actually Monaco. Really? Huh. Well, there you go. I've learned yet another new thing. Have I ever rage quit a game, come back to it sometime later, and found out you really like it? Good question. I don't think I've ever rage quit something and then come back to it. I think, I'll tell you what we're playing right now, any of the Total War series. I started playing Total War Warhammer 2, and I was really, it's not a forgiving game. So, you know, I'd pick it up and put it down and pick it up and put it down. I'm like, I just can't get this. I just can't get this. I don't like this game. It's not working out for me. And then, like every other Total War game, which I've also just started doing in Three Kingdoms, I finally got a campaign that was working out for me, and then I loved it. So I didn't rage quit Total War. I just kind of put it down and came back and put it down and came back and kept doing that over and over and over again until I really got into it. And then I got into it, as we can clearly see. So that is the answer to that question. I think if I rage quit something, I'm putting it away. If you have, because I don't often rage quit unless a game is so frustrating in one of two ways. Either it is so over the top difficult that it's just not reasonable. Like, there's no, like, only a maniac is going to sit there and get good at that game. I hate that phrase, but only a ridiculous, unreasonable, insane person is going to sit there doing that thing, whatever it may be, over and over and over again until they manage it. Or the mechanics are so fussy that it's just not fun. We've talked many, many times about my hard line between challenging and frustrating, and the second it turns frustrating, I'm out. I'm just out the door. I have only a limited number of heartbeats on the planet. I'm not going to waste them playing a game that isn't fun. I don't mind challenging. I don't mind expanding my skill level and learning something, but I'm also not going to sit there and I could go through 50% of the games that I put up on the channel and said, yeah, and now you've crossed the point to frustrating. This is just dumb and it's not fun anymore. You've never seen me rage, Curry. Well, Curry, you should have seen me at work at 2 o'clock in the morning, or I was going to say last night, but technically earlier today. There was a lot of bottled up rage at work that kind of came out all at once we locked the doors. Rage quit Dragon's Dogma. Dark Arisen, and then dusted it off, and now I can't stop playing it. Yeah, I messed around with Dragon's Dogma. See, now, this is the thing. It wasn't really a rage quit thing. It just didn't hold my interest. So, I played Dragon's Dogma. I probably put, I don't know, a few hours into it, and when I put it down, it was just like, meh. If I never came back from this, or came back to this game, my life would be unaffected. I'd be totally fine by that. I have it. It's still in my library. I've just never picked it up again. So it wasn't a rage quit thing. It was just it's not holding my interest. And that goes back to the limited number of heartbeats on the planet. If something is not captivating me, where I want to rush back from whatever I'm doing and play it, then I might just put it aside. I want to play games that are either going to be fun to play on the channel for you guys, or fun to play on my own, for my relaxation. Hero not moved. Whom? Oh, Sabioth, right. You're coming back from vacation. You are actually almost slightly sort of at a point where you can meet up with the rest of the team. It's been like game years, Sabioth. Game years. I'm so happy you're going to finally get back. Argyle, is there anyone left for you to assassinate down here? Can I assassinate you? Yeah, I probably can, except I'm exhausted. Yeah, okay. So do nothing at all. That's fine. You can just rest. Settlement upgrade. Oh, Lost Plateau. Right, okay. Sure, I'll make that level 3. Why not? Seems like a perfectly sensible thing I should be doing. And unassigned skill points, Villarel. Okay. What have you done for me lately? Where are you? Whom are you embedded with? You've got most of the decent stuff that I want. You're immortal. Oh, you know what? Get better at public order. It never hurts to have a few extra points of public order. I do work in restaurants, so you do understand the rage. Yeah, it's not even the people. Actually, it's the restaurant itself. It's the restaurants tend to acquire a lot of, well, different people working there. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say different people working there, and often those people end up in management positions, where you end up with inconsistent, unreasonable, ridiculous management. And I just want to go in and do my job and go home. And I am just met by speed bumps every day by ridiculousness, silliness. It's just silliness. Like, just if you all just got your stuff together, this place would run fine. But no, we're actually deliberately putting drama into our lives. Restaurant industry is a world of drama. Everybody is angry at somebody for something all the time. It's just the nature of the beast. It's what you work with. And there are parts of it that I really, really love. And then there's parts like last night where I don't. Where I'm just like, okay, let me tell you what I think of what's going on here. Fun fact, all vertebrates have roughly the same amount of heartbeats throughout their life. Only the heart frequency is different for the different species. Yes. Office work is like that. I've done office work too. It's and much like, well, really in any business when there's going to be multiple employees, as we all know, largely the mediocre rises to the top somehow. I don't know how that works, but it kind of does. So that's really the nature of any business. But also the restaurant industry. Restaurant industry is kind of one of those we'll take what we can get professions. Like, I don't see a real active attempt to get the best of the best. Just like anyone walking in the street, it's a you'll do. That's what it is. You'll do. Will you show up? Maybe? Okay, you'll do. That's fine. That's good enough to work here. And, you know, that kind of breeds upon itself. I really hope no one from my place of business is listening to this. They probably aren't, even though they know I do this every Saturday. And if they are, oh well, you know what? I'll take my lumps. I back down to nobody, and I said that to my boss. Including my boss. Like, I don't back down to people. I am old enough where I will demand to be treated with respect. You can speak to me in a normal, rational tone of voice. You don't need to scream at me. If you have an issue about the way I'm doing my job, you can tell me and I will correct it. But the screaming, the swearing, no, we don't do that. So, that happened. Anyway, sure, Sorry, that was a total rant about my rant. I'm just kind of coming down from last night, and you guys are unfortunately feeling the after effects of that. Yeah, stronger monsters. I don't use the Harpies very much, but Hydra and Charybdis, that'll be fine. I'll take stronger ones of those, thank you. We take what we can get, as a lot of UK businesses will have to do after Brexit. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding there. It's the you'll do philosophy. You're just looking for a warm body who hopefully, you hope, is not going to steal from you, will show up to work, hopefully isn't a drug addict. It's just that you just hope that they will basically get through the day without causing some kind of major problem. That it's not like I want the best person working here. It's like, I'll take that guy because I don't think he's on drugs right now. So that's, and I'm not exaggerating. I've heard that conversation happening. I'll take the guy who, the person who applied yesterday was applying for a job because he just got out of 5 years in prison. So, and you know what? God bless him. I spent 5 years in business as a business partner with a man who just got out of prison. I'm not saying prison is a deal breaker. I'm just saying that's what you get in the restaurant industry. That's a traditional kind of gig. Did this guy just get out of jail? Does he have a home? That's a common question that you have to ask in the restaurant industry. Do we have like a mailing address for this person, or is he technically homeless? Because I can tell you right now, 2 of our employees are. I'm not exaggerating. They are. It's the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the industry. So, Helenor, what would you like to do for a living? You are actually pretty good at a lot of things, Helenor. You are very good. I do like you, Helenor. What's Deadly Onslaught again? Just basically a big old buff. Big old super buff. Okay, well, let's start working in that direction by getting you some more weapon strength. In UK, tens of thousands of positions in the whole restaurant and hotel industry and the NHS are already vacant, and that's going to get worse by the day. Yeah, that's going to sink to the bottom. You just sort of get lower and lower and lower quality candidates, and you'll just be left with the worst. You'll be asking, okay, is this person on drugs during the application process? Because if they're not close enough, you'll do. Lord Not Moved, whom? Oh, right, you. Right, I was building my trash army up here, and then I kind of didn't need it anymore. Okay, what do I do with you? I could just take you back into the heart of Ulthuan for some real good training, some actual training. I can certainly afford another army. That is not a problem. Not a problem at all. We will give you... You kind of have to hang out here, though, because public order is a very serious issue here. We are building the public order building. It's down 3 a turn. It's going to be 4 turns when the public order comes in. I feel we can send you on your way. Okay, so start moving through the Phoenix Gate. We'll take you into Ulthuan. NHS alone has 110,000 vacancies. Okay, well, depending on how many people from my job have heard this stream, I might need a job. Can I work in the NHS? I probably need some sort of visa or something, I would imagine. I don't think I get to float in the back that my father was British. I don't think I have any sort of citizenship rights there, so I need some kind of visa. See, I felt you were going to come in to reinforce the Shrine of Sotek, and I was right. But now you've left yourself very, very exposed in the middle of the map. That's really sad for you. So yes, 110,000 vacancies. I feel I could fill one of those. Here's my job application. I'd really just like to come in, punch the clock, do my job to the very best of my ability, without drama, without excitement, without controversy, and then punch the clock and go home. There is my job application. That is what I'm looking for. You'd say you need medical training. Okay. Don't really got that. Don't really got that. But with 110,000 vacancies, Hawk, I think they may be, as you just said, in a position of take what they can get. And I can slap a Band-Aid on. Sergeant Curry Pants would be way better for that. So pretty much custom-made job opportunities there, Curry. But I can fake it. I'm really good at faking stuff. I'm really good at faking a job until I figure out how to do it. Excellent at that. Built a whole business out of that for 20 years. And then, at the end of it, discovered I actually was pretty good at it. So there's that. Nagarons, your turns take forever because you're huge. And you have many, many, many territories that I would like to confederate with. But I don't think you're ever going to do it. I just don't see that ever happening. I think there might, at this point, be a mechanic where he's just hardwired to not confederate with Marathi. If random, welcome. Hi, Queen Khalida. You want me to join war against, the people that I was kind of thinking about joining a war with anyway. Oh, no, that's not them. No, those are greenskins up there. I'm going to give you a pass on that one, Hi, Queen Khalida, just because I'm not anywhere near them. I'm not even going to help you on that. And you already like me enough anyway, so I don't need your like. That's all I wanted from a job, too. Just let me do my job. It's really difficult to find a workplace that lets you do that. I know. Right, yes, we talked about that, Hawk. Yeah, save up some money and just throw them a huge pile of money. So yeah, we'll definitely give that a shot when I've got a little more in the kitty. What did we try with the last time? I think it was either 50 or 75K. I think it was not a small amount of money, but it wasn't 200K. Yeah, I know, job drama is the same all over the world, Willow. What you have to, I think this is somewhat of a cliche and a stereotype, but it also is really, really true, is the restaurant industry is incredibly incestuous in many ways. First of all, many people work in multiple places at the same time, so they can get enough hours and enough income. So people are going back and forth between restaurants, and there is, when I say incestuous, there's a propensity to just basically sleep with everyone. Let's call it like it is. It is very, this guy is doing this person, and that girl is doing that person, and then next week it's different people, and the other people are jealous, and it's a very, it's like an amped up high school, really, is what it is. Did you miss the live stream on Friday? Nope. It was an hour early, but it was there. We did it yesterday. Willow missed it. I did stream early, yes. So just for Squig and Willow and folks like that, no, absolutely not. We're not having a peace treaty with you. P.S. So speaking of work, my work schedule has changed. So now I work alternate Fridays. So yesterday I worked. So I streamed an hour early. It wasn't even that early. It was just an hour early, just so I could get to work on time. And next week I won't be working, so it'll be at the usual time that we do it. And I do always put it up on the channel in the morning, so it is there. If you're like, oh, is this the week he's working or not working? There is an imminent rebellion. Okay, I'm pretty sure we can cope with that. That's fine. We can cope with that. Rebellion armies are really not that good. So you keep moving in here. And restaurants and hotels are different in Europe. Really? Okay, because here it's an amped up sexualized high school where everybody is doing everybody all the time and they all have to look at each other the next morning. So, it's not like the movies make it out to be, because the movies amp it up even more, but it is very incestuous in many uses of that word. Watch it after, it's not as fun. No, it's not, really, is it? No, I appreciate you watching it after, though. I really do. I don't say that lightly. I do appreciate you watching it after. But, the fun part for me is hanging out with you guys. That's what I like. And hello, Squig. Welcome. So, you... Alright, what's going on in the Shrine of Sotak? Not a lot. I could either go right into Sotak, or I could take out this guy's army, or both, if I use Ravenna. Oh, she can't quite make it over there. Alright, I really want to deal with this guy. And you're still sieging Maku Peaks. And it's going to be a while. We are building siege engines, and I'd like to get a few more of those going. They don't have, like, a crazy, ridiculous garrison. Actually, they have really not much of a garrison. When we get those siege engines built, I'm just going to kick down the door. That here it's not. People working there have done 3-year apprenticeships. Yeah, we don't do that here, Hawk. We don't do that kind of thing here, Hawk. You and I and the chat have had many conversations about how I feel how well the Germans do education/job training, and I'm throwing those into one camp because you guys kind of consider it to be one thing. You really prep people to go out and have a life way more than we do. Way more. We're teaching people stupid things, and we're not really prepping them to actually have a job. Like, just a job. So you guys do it way better, and I have nothing but admiration for that. You guys have trade schools that have waiting lists. That's ridiculous. We can't even... To us, a trade school, you're looked down on for going to a trade school. You look like you're low rent. Like you couldn't get into a good school. And you guys are actually doing it the right way, which is, you're damn right you should go into a trade because you can name your own price if you get good at it. And you will be far more successful and stable and living a better life than the guy who is, $100,000 in debt because he got a philosophy degree from Harvard. So yeah, that's a little rant on education there. We used to have trade schools and apprenticeships. You're packing boxes. Yeah, that's right. You're moving to the New Mexico thing. Yes, we're coming back to that. Try and sell the house and move back to New Mexico. So do you already have something set up in New Mexico? Or are you like going to sell first and then move? I mean, if you're packing, it seems like you're kind of out the door. So yeah, go ahead and take out Mengelox. I don't think this is going to be a big deal. Unless he's going to retreat. Oh, this is just like a Rubik's Cube going on here. I'm moving back and forth and up and down. Okay, skip the Rebel Army. I don't care anymore about the Rebel Army. You go into normal stance and go all the way down here, please. Skip the Rebel Army. We'll deal with them later. You're going to sell and then move. Ooh, that's bold. That's bold. Wow. That's a brave move. Well, I suppose that you sell it and you walk into New Mexico, go, look, here's my money. Give me a house. Also start teaching people how to deal with situations on a lower age as well. Capabilities to handle situations of their own. The USA is comparable to the skills of an 8-year-old in German. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that, Hawk. I'm not surprised at all. Hawk. I think we're all very, very clear on this. I have nothing but admiration for German culture and the way you guys do things. And you and I in chat have talked about it many, many times. It's just, you guys are doing it right. You're doing it right, and I'm envious. I wish we had our stuff together as well as you do. So I'm not surprised. In fact, I'm surprised we're up to 8 years old. I thought you might say a 6-year-old, because that's about where I feel we train people to be when they're supposed to be living their actual lives. U.S. teens like 14 or 15-year-olds. No, you should go back to 8-year-old. You should go back to 8-year-old, Hawk. I think that's more accurate. So, all right, what else are we doing in Lustria here? You've moved, you're sieging. Do I just want to generate another army for giggles? Actually, I should probably do a round of who needs me to build something for them, because I feel, yeah, you need things. Actually, I did set up a fairly decent military infrastructure here. Ooh, I had good plans here. Dang. Yeah, so definitely the walls and better garrison, absolutely. And better monsters, absolutely. And more things, more military down here. Because then I could just peel out an army real quick. Ooh, I actually set this up really nicely. Go me. Right. Okay, now what? Willow was living on her own and doing quite well when she was 18. Well, good. Then you're doing better than most Americans. You're in Berlin right now. Very different than... I totally can now not pronounce that. Nader Shoshen? Something like that. Nader something. Nader? Nader. I'm going to go with Nader. Yeah, that's my very brief vacation. It was in Berlin. Wonderful city. Absolutely wonderful city. 15-year-old U.S. teens are comparable to 8-year-old Europeans. Oh, okay. I get to what you're saying there. You know what? I still think it should be 6-year-olds. I still think European 6-year-old beats American 15-year-old every single time. In the military, everything is taught at 7th grade level. Yeah, and most major newspapers are, I think, written at a 6th or 7th grade level, reading level for that. Some of the more frou-frou ones, like the New York Times, are written a little bit higher. They make it up into 8th or 10th grade, but still, it's not challenging reading. Okay, pronounced completely different. Okay, yeah, I'm not surprised by that. Again, it's learning German pronunciation with Hawk. Right, Lord Not Moved. We could actually play some Warhammer here. Yes, you. You are going to go deal with this. Bjornling's Gathering. Let's just at least lock down the province here. Yeah, fly over. What have they got going on? This is not even worth it. Okay, I took you out for an airing Yastra. This one we're just going to auto-resolve, please. Thank you. Appreciate it. That's exactly the same force, more or less. It wouldn't even be that interesting to watch. It's the same battle we started with. How's that heat? It is awful, Bird Brains. It is absolutely awful. It's very, very hot. There's really no other way to describe it, Bird Brains. It's just very hot. It's about 100 Fahrenheit. They weren't wrong. They didn't exaggerate. They said it was going to be about 100, and it's about 100. And it's not really going to be much better. The real killer is nighttime. You know, nighttime you expect it to cool off. The coolest it's going to get tonight is about 80. That's still cooling off 20 degrees, but 80 degrees is no temperature to sleep in. AC into the room. No, I'm suffering through this, Willow. I am absolutely suffering through this one. I didn't put the fan on. I didn't put the AC on. The one thing that Tormentor Sword. That sounds really good. It's not that really good. Okay. The one thing I did do, let's just get words out of my mouth, is I left the door open. So windows are open in the house, just not in this room, so I don't have background noise, but I did leave the door open, mostly because Mrs. Dave is out on a boat all day, and I know there's not going to be any downstairs noise. So I just left the windows open. It's not helping much, to be honest. It's not helping. AC is unhealthy. You know what, Hawk? I will fight you to the death. I don't care. I don't care. AC is God's last gift to the earth. Air conditioning, Squig. Air conditioning. I don't care, Hawk. I don't care. I don't care if AC makes me die early. It is God's last gift to the earth. It was pretty much free will, Garden of Eden, air conditioning. That was the order of operations there. I don't care if I die early from it. It is the best thing in the world. I cannot sleep. I cannot sleep in hot weather. And if I can't sleep, the world pays. If I cannot sleep and I am cranky, I am prone to insomnia anyway. You may have guessed that by the channel by now. I am prone to that anyway, so anything that's going to make it worse, the world pays. I am a cranky man when I am not getting my sleep. Right. Oh, Bjorn's Gathering has nothing in it. Okay, cool. I want all the things then, please. Oh, I can't get a better garrison here. I can get the Undercity warning thing, but that's fine. I might set up some very basic infrastructure for military, just in case. And I should actually really set up a public order building. That would probably be super handy. I'm sure that's not going to be great around here. Although it's fine right now. And let's set up... monsters? Yeah, we'll do monsters, and we'll do these guys. Or do I want assassins over here? Yeah, there's my Harganeth Executioners. I do love those guys. I really super love the Harganeth. So we'll go down that route. Okay, cool. That's all worked out. Most serious issue with air conditioning spreads bacteria and viruses if maintenance is not done, which is at least once a year. Yeah, I had the air conditioning for about 6 years, never done maintenance on it. So I'm sure we're all going to die of the plague. But you know what, Hawk? I'm going to die comfortably in air conditioning. So it's fine. I will have the bubonic plague, but I will be nice and cool. And that's really all I want. Random fact with Bird Brains. In Korea, fans often have timers which turn the fan off automatically as their belief the fans cut up the air and suffocate you. Okay, not what I expected about fans. Not what I expected. Don't have forced air conditioning. I use fans, but I know that many people need AC. What about when you go to New Mexico? Bet you're going to want some AC down there. That's probably a place... Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not going to New Mexico without AC. Sabioth, you've made it onto land. Now it's just a many thousands of mile jaunt up to Maku Peaks to join up with everybody else. But you can do a little scouting and maybe some assassinating while you're on your way. Now, Chaka... is that ratty? I'm going to say yes, because this is Lord Skrulk land down here. Actually, while you're here, Sabioth, Find out if this is Lord Skrullclan. I'm sure it is. These are his territories. These are his starting territories. Choppy Yaddle, Mangrove Coast marks the old one, and it looks like somebody already took Oixel. The Vampire Coast took Oixel away from him, but that's fine. That is fine. Used fans in New Mexico and swamp coolers. What's a swamp cooler? What does a swamp cooler do? Can you cool swamps? Because somebody should probably tell New Orleans about that. So yeah, that. We use, actually, as the debate between fans and air conditioning is going on, we use both in the bedroom. So air condition with fans. I want to feel like I'm in a very, very chilly wind tunnel. That's how I'm going to get to sleep. And actually, speaking of sleeping, the hum, the drone of the air conditioner, for me works kind of like a white noise thing. So it does actually help me sleep, not only to be more comfortable, but that sort of white noise thing helps me sleep too. Honestly, if I had my way, Hawk, I'd sleep in air conditioning all the time. I would not do that to Mrs. Dave because she's not crazy about the noise, but she is understanding enough to know that I need that to sleep in heat. Like, I would not sleep tonight. I'm just be flat out. I would be outside on the patio and I'd be up all night because that would be the only comfortable spot I could be in. I might even fall asleep on the patio, although it would still be 80 degrees out there. Alyssa, what's Ice Drake Fjord looking like these days? What's the Fjord looking like? It's level 5, but they've got no garrison. Okay. I mean, we started the war with the Norskins. We may as well finish it. I really only wanted this land just for somewhere to heal. But we may as well just keep punching through their line. There's no reason not to. They seem to be giving it up pretty easy. Yeah, that's nothing. I'm gonna fight it because they've got a mammoth, and I think that's fun. Ooh, actually, now that I say that, Alyssa's army has no monsters, which is unfortunate. A little heavy on the missiles. This is actually not our best army. I'm gonna give it a shot anyway, because I think it might be an interesting battle. Swamp Cooler is like a fan with water. Oh, okay. Yeah, I kind of get the idea of that. Isn't that a bit wasteful in an arid climate? No, it's best used in arid climates. Okay, Willow and Hawk can fight it out about the Swamp Cooler thing. I just think Swamp Cooler sounds like the best thing in the world for New Orleans, and also a really awesome metal band name. Hello, Chicago, we are Swamp Cooler. Oh, 30 is a very respectable amount of magic, thank you very much. Okay, let's get some people working out here. So if we're going to be heavy on the missiles, we may as well be heavy on the missiles. Skirmish mode off, thank you. Spread you guys out there. Witch Elves, you can kind of be off to the side here. I may try and flank you in, even though I kind of hate you. Blackguard right up front, because that's probably best guess where they're going to charge their monster in. And you guys can be sort of off to the side here. You can be off to the side here. I'll put some cavalry over with the Witch Elves. And Cold One Chariot. Oh, that's a missile chariot. Okay, I forgot that. And then you guys, you're a great distraction. And you can go over here. Okay, let's see how that all works out. Start the battle. Let's just send in the distractions first. Do they have any missile infantry over here? They usually don't. Skin Wolves. Ah, yeah, those guys are a pain in the neck. Start working on their spears. Yeah, kind of what I thought. They're sending their mammoth up first. You can go start working on those skin wolves. You, Dark Riders, what can you do for a living? Let's see if we can get you behind these guys. Do I have an Instagram? I do not, Squig. I think you've asked that before. And that's fine. You can ask it as many times as you want. The answer will still be no. I don't really know what to do with it. I mean, I do. I know Instagram. I used it for my business. But I don't really know what I do with it, with the channel. I mean, maybe I'll spend some time in the future checking out other channels' Instagrams and figuring out what exactly they're doing with it. But the answer to your question is a hard no. I do not. Are you shooting these people? If not, could you start? You need to move faster. Thank you. Thank you. Dodge out of the way, please, there. Dodge out of the way. They should have... Okay, I'm going to have to get caught up in a second on chat. High amount of water used per capita. It's just because we're a very wasteful lot, Hawk. We're terribly, terribly wasteful people. Go ahead and charge into there. Yeah, we built a city in the middle of a desert, and then we're shocked that we use a lot of water. We're Americans, Hawk. It's what we do. I kind of thought you'd gotten the hang of this by now. We're a very silly people. Very silly. We're not good at things. Oh, there's the mammoth. Okay. Charge the mammoth with the spears. Wow, he just walked right through. He just walked right through my line. Oh, he didn't even pause. He just walked right through. I do like the way the war mammoth is kind of scarred up and tattooed. That's really cool. Oh, that is very good. I like the war mammoth. I'm going to kill him, but I like him. It doesn't stop me from liking... Oh, we should assassinate their leader. Yeah. Hugh R. Jaden. What can you do for a living? Oh, let's do some spells. Oh, Purple Sun. I love Purple Sun of Xerxes. One of my favorite spells. And then let's do other things to them. Yeah, let's cause terror by doing that. And then when you're done with that... what's... Alyssa, why don't you just charge in and assassinate the leader? That'll be fine. I don't think it's going to take much. Everything else has been basically seen off at this point. You guys concentrate here. Oh, never mind. They're already breaking. You guys can concentrate over there. Wow, out of all of them, these okay, you're just getting caught up in a melee. That's where we need to go. You get caught up in a melee. That's not good. You, however, can start firing on these guys. You can also start firing, and you guys can move to intercept, please. No, keep moving. Keep moving. This is my problem with cavalry, is I forget about them, and they're caught up in an unnecessary melee, and they get killed. That's kind of my issue with cavalry. Oh, never mind. I think we've got a mass rout here. Yep, mass rout. Everything's fine. Battle over. Super. Okay, what did I miss here? Yes, Las Vegas is a very silly place to build a city because it's in the middle of a desert. It's also an amazingly awesome city for exactly 72 hours. Everyone should get out of Vegas after 3 days. After 3 days, it'll just make you insane. Random fact with bird brains, elephants are excellent swimmers. They swim underwater, and they're using their trunks as snorkels. They can swim up to 6 hours. Don't blame me for the wastefulness of Las Vegas. I didn't build the city. No, the mob did. But yeah, no, Las Vegas perfectly exemplifies America. This is my new thing. This is what I just thought of this, and this is what I believe is true. If you need to know what America is, just look at Las Vegas. We took a desert and said, yeah, we're going to build an entertainment complex here, and then it'll be a city, and people will live here, and we'll spend all the water on it. Are you sure you want to build a city in the desert? Yep. Why? 'Cause America. 'Cause that's what we do. I'm surprised we don't have something similar in Death Valley. I think Death Valley is just the threshold of, yeah, it's actually too hot here. People die here. You're on Reddit. You probably know you're on Discord. Yes, I know you're on Discord, or at least you're on my Discord. You have your own channel on my channel on Discord. No, I know we're not all like that, Willow, but I think people could look at Las Vegas and say, that's what America does. And you know what? It's not all an insult. It's actually kind of a compliment. We are adaptable. We just looked at a desert and said, no, we're going to do it anyway. That's kind of what America does. Don't tell us we can't do something. We'll come over there and do it anyway. And we'll do it bigger, better, and we'll slap some neon on it, too. Yeah, decisive victory. I'm very well aware of that. That I feel is our strength, Willow. That's our strength, is Europeans, and Hawk can fight me all day on this. I'm sure he's rushing to the keyboard right now. But Hawk can fight me all day. Europeans are, this is going to sound more insulting than I mean it to be, stagnant. Stagnant. Europeans are less likely to take the chance to adapt, to improve, to go, let's go do it just because it hasn't been done yet. And I don't mean in anything specific, like technology or advancements or education or anything like that. I don't mean in anything specific. I mean in a very, very broad sense. Europeans are stagnant. Americans are the guys who are going to look at a desert and go, yeah, we can build a city there. Who says we can't? Whereas I think a European would have looked at the desert and said, why in God's name would we build a city there? That's a very, very silly thing to do. Okay, so Hawk says reasonable. Okay, that is a different word than stagnant, and I think we're both kind of on the same lines there. I think we're both thinking the same things. Reasonable, but yes, I don't think you're necessarily disagreeing with me, Hawk. I don't think you're necessarily saying I'm wrong in that Europeans are more cautionary. They are not going to rush to do something. And the point of that statement being is that that may be a a detraction. That may be something that holds them back. I'm not saying either of us is right or wrong. Your way is your way and our way is our way. But I'm saying this is why Las Vegas exemplifies America. Because I don't think a European would look at Nevada and go, you know what we should do here? Theme park, dude. Dude, we should build a theme park. And the other guy's like, no, come on, man. It's a desert. People die under these conditions. You totally can't build a theme park here. He's like, no, I can build a theme park here. How are you going to do it? I'm going to waste a bunch of water. It'll be fine. We'll figure it out later. Let's just slap up a hotel, see what happens. That's America. Whereas a European would look at Nevada and go, no, we'll go somewhere better. This is a silly place to build a city. The improvement in Las Vegas was the idea to steal the water from 300 kilometers north, which caused a drought in the area, which is perfectly fine before. Yeah, welcome to America. I didn't say our ideas were good ones. I say we're gonna do it anyway. Because somebody said, you can't build a city in the desert, and Americans said, watch me do it. Hold my beer. I'll be right back. So it's cautionary, cautious, reasonable, true. That's absolutely true. But you know what? When you're in a pinch, we'll get things done. We'll go ahead and get things done. Just don't tell us we can't do something. We'll come over there and slap some neon on it and do it anyway. Dust storms in Texas, man-made. Of course they are, Hawk. Of course they are. We're terrible at things, but we're going to give it a shot. We're going to try it. So I'm not saying that we haven't done horrible things. Well, lots of countries have done horrible things. Okay, lots of countries have done horrible things. Let's not start pointing fingers or throwing stones at glass houses here. Every country has done horrible things. We just happen to do a lot of environmental damage. Other people do other things. Bird Brains will be right back. Excellent. So that's my minor rant. I really should just plan streams when I'm grossly overtired, because they seem to go better for me. I seem to find way more things to talk about when I am just ridiculously overtired. Just as a reminder, got home at 3 a.m. Up at 7 so I could edit some videos. So yeah, this is good. And it's 100 degrees. Dust storm. Yeah, okay, so we're dust storms in Texas. Hero not moved. Argyle, are you less exhausted now? Can you do some more assassinating? How are you doing? 61%. Give it a shot. Success. Good job, Argyle. Argyle, I like you now. You were specced out terribly when we inherited you. Yet another elf servant. Fantastic. I needed one of those. Willow's got to go. It's back to packing. Okay, cool. Yes, go back to packing. Keep us posted. Good luck with the move and the sale and the purchase and all that. So do please keep us posted how you're doing there. Countries have not done terrible things. Tuvalu, San Marino, or Andorra. Wasn't Andorra a planet in the Flash Gordon series? Okay, I don't even know where those countries are. They clearly haven't done terrible things because nobody knows about them. But let's talk about major countries then, Hawk. Let's bring up major countries, not made up countries from Flash Gordon World. I'm poking fun at you, Hawk. I'm poking fun at you at this point. I'm sure Andorra is a very, very real place, I think. Commandment available. You guys, right, because I'm done with you. Ooh, good time to have public order, actually. Let's get some public order going on there. Okay, where is Tuvalu? Tuvalu? All right, tell me where Tuvalu is first. And then we'll start to address some other things. Did I not repair the Ice Drake Fjord? Oh, I just took it over. Never mind. What do I kind of need here? Probably public order again. Yeah, probably public order. It's never going to hurt. It's never going to be a bad thing to have public order. We'll put, no, I already put the monsters over there. All right, I'll put the Sorceress Abode over here, because it's right next door. And some money. Money is good. San Marino is the middle of Italy. Andorra is between France and Spain. And Tuvalu is an oceanic island state. Okay. All right. I'm sure you have a very rapid answer for this, Hawk, because you've done your homework. But what exactly has Tuvalu done for me? Like, how big an impact does that country or oceanic island state have on, well, literally everyone else? Is this like... Are they in NATO? Do they have strategic value? Do they have a representative in the United Nations? It's nice, but you prefer Hamburg. Oh, we're talking about Berlin. Okay, I thought you were talking about Tuvalu, which apparently is nice. And what's the climate like there? Can we get back to the climate conversation? Rebellion here. That's fine. Again, we're gonna go ahead and just have the rebellion. because that'll just clear the slate for a little while. Right, you guys. Okay, you deal with these guys. Why are you not dealing with those guys? Have you already moved? I might have already moved you. You have also already moved. Okay, everyone's already moved over there. That's fine. They have what? Wait, what have they done, Hawk? Have they done something for me? What did they do? I'm very curious, because you're talking about Oceanic Island State. I'm thinking it's just like a small island. I'm thinking like Easter Island. I think they've got a bunch of stone heads and not much else. So what have they done? What impact have they had on the world? And I'm genuinely curious. I'm actually not asking that sarcastically. But when you say, yes, there are countries that are pure and pure of heart and haven't done any terrible things, I was kind of going for like larger countries that contribute a lot to, the way things run in the world and the way things go, whether that be for good or bad. It's just, I don't think of a small oceanic island state as, this is my major player. This is who I'm looking at. Members of the UN doing a lot of clean energy and combat climate change. Okay, cool. I've still never heard of them, Hawk. I'm not being sarcastic and I'm not arguing with you, man. It's just, when I say every country has done terrible things, I guess I'm mostly talking about the big boys. The major players, the guys who we are going to think of as world leaders in the country. You, Britain, those guys. And they've all done terrible things. Like many other oceanic states, if sea levels rise, they will vanish below the waves. Well, then they're going to be very keen on climate change. I bet they're loving our current president, because he's really, really against climate change. Piercing shots or more fighty? I think, yeah, flat-out weapon strength. You're never going to go wrong with that. So again, Hawk, I'm not really being sarcastic. I'm just saying when I say this is your Sith thing, Hawk. This is where you deal in absolutes. Where I say something and again, I'm not arguing with you. We're having a conversation. The reason I value your contribution to the channel, Hawk, is because you can have a conversation and not take it personally and say, oh, he's badgering me or something. You recognize the spirited debate that you and I have. So, what was my point of that story? So you do tend to do absolutes. So you will say like, this is this. Well, Dave said that, but it's actually this. And sometimes I'm just speaking in generalities. Like when I say every country has done something awful, I'm sure Tuvalu is a lovely place. Do they have any touristy kind of things there? I kind of want to visit now. I'm sure there are plenty of countries that are just doing their own thing, not bothering anyone. But when I say every country has done something awful, you understand that I'm speaking generally, and generally that's true. Generally that is true. Yes, you can pick out individual countries, one of which may come from the Flash Gordon universe. I'm not 100% sure. But you can pick out specific countries that are pure of heart and where the wonderful people live. But I think you would be bound to agree that in general, every country is awful and has done horrible things in their past. Tuvalu hasn't pulled out of the Paris Climate Accord and the Kyoto Protocol. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. We're terrible about that. Well, no, actually, we're not terrible, Hawk. Our current administration is terrible. And nobody is surprised by that. That was a perfect storm that enabled that to happen. So, actually, Hawk, most people in the U.S. are pretty, concerned with climate change. I know it doesn't seem like we are, because you're dealing with the public face of our current administration, but actually, we're pretty keen on it. We were all okay with the Kyoto Protocol and all of that stuff. So, yeah, most Americans, if you chit-chat with them, they're like, yeah, climate change is a big deal, and we should totally do something about that. And then we've got our current administration who does silly things. And we elected him. Nobody's perfect. Let's hope you get a better president. Not likely. It's very, very likely that he will be reelected, Hawk. I'm sorry to say. It is very hard to oust a sitting president. An incumbent president, it's happened. Again, I'm going to immediately say I'm dealing in generalities, Hawk, because I can personally tell you of specific occasions where it has happened. The first George Bush was unseated as a sitting president, that was Carter was unseated as a sitting president, and after that, I'm getting a little fuzzy And there have been more. But if you take, say, the past 50 years, almost every incumbent, again, generality, almost every incumbent president has been reelected. It's very hard to unseat an incumbent president. So it's very likely he will be our president for the next 5 years. That makes a lot of people very, very sad. Very sad, including me. Hi, Caleth. Wow, you're not really kitted out. I must have a ton of stuff that you can have. Have an Armor of Darkness. Have, whatever this is, have it. Have it. And have, things. Have a Dawnstone. Actually, have a ward save 15%. Oh, no, sorry, that's assigned to someone else. Never mind. Have the Dawnstone anyway. And have a Brass Horn, sure. Have an Elf Servant. Oh, you've already got an Elf Servant. I've got like a million of them. Actually, don't have a ton of followers to give you, so just have that. Just have that, please. I hope you get a president. I'm sorry, I'm just getting caught up on chat. I didn't vote for those, only totally outdated electoral college system. Yeah, I think you'd, I don't think you're wrong. The electoral college system worked when we needed it to work, and I think many people, again, generality, many people believe we don't need that anymore. Unfortunately, many people still feel that we do, and their arguments aren't completely wrong. In that it's actually harder to do voter fraud if you've got the electoral college system. But anyway, long story short, I am on the camp of we don't really need that anymore. We can just go with a basic numbers game. You beat that guy. So you got more people wanted you to be president than the other person, and that's fine by me. We're focusing in the USA. Russia literally dumped a nuclear reactor into a lake because we're all scared of them, bird brains. We are, anyway. We're all scared. We just sort of go, yep, that's fine, guys. No problems over here. The other bad guy is gonna be president. Well, there's bad guys on both sides of the field. Although, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you right now, Hawk, because you're interested, why the current president will be reelected. Because at current, and you can go ahead and Google it because I don't know the exact number, but I believe right now there's about 20 to 25 people on the other side of the ticket, the Democratic side of the ticket, running for president. Somewhere in that neighborhood. I know there were so many they had to split up the first debates into multiple nights because there were that many people that needed to be on stage. So I believe it's around 20. You can tell me the exact number, and I'm sure that will be accurate. They are all going to start infighting with each other. And the first thing they're already doing it, by the way. They're already doing it. This is already happening. They're already slamming the number one contender. The guy who could actually beat our current president and win an election, his friends are tearing him down so they can run for president. They're all climbing over each other's back like, I don't know, a bunch of puppies fighting for dominance. And they're tearing down the one person who could win. And he will be torn down. And then, whoever is left has no chance of winning. So that's why we're going to have this guy for the next 5 years. Because people who are allies are climbing over each other's backs to try and be president, even when they know intellectually there's literally no chance they can win. There's absolutely no chance they have the clout to win. Why did you think I wanted to build something in Hag Hall? Oh, I kind of did. Okay, that's fine. I'll build that. What else is going on in chat right now? To be fair, the French are upset about the terms of the Paris Accord. They've been protesting for almost 40 weeks about some of the taxes. So you finally played as an orc in a game. Oh, Hammerhelm? Yeah, I'm not really sure how long I want to keep Hammerhelm going. I kind of just want to see how this orc thing plays out. But Hammerhelm is a really fun game. There's nothing wrong with Hammerhelm, but I just feel it's like one of those games that's going to go on forever. And there's a point where I've got to say, okay, I want to put something else on the channel right now. Created to deal with a specific situation of the late 18th century. Yeah, and we're still stuck with it. States with a lower population get more electoral votes than they should. Right, and that's why when you're going with a presidential... Well, you know what? Here's the flip side of the Electoral College. This is... Well, it's not the flip side. It's just another note to the Electoral College. What, as you obviously understand, we end up with is what we call the flyover states. So with the Electoral College in place, you really only... If you're running for president, you really only campaign in specific states. We've got 50 states, and you can't campaign everywhere. You can't campaign everywhere, and you don't need to. You really only need to win specific states to get the electoral votes. So what we determined to be the flyover states, well, the flyover states are technically anything that isn't East or West Coast, but it's a part of the country that we largely ignore. That's the part of the country that our current president said, I will listen to you. It's one of the reasons he won. There are many reasons he won. It was a perfect storm of awfulness, but one of the reasons that he won is he went to parts of the country that are ignored during presidential elections, completely ignored, and said, I will listen to you. And all of a sudden, those people came out and vote. They never came out and voted before. Literally, nobody thought that was going to happen. There were whole swaths of the country were like, yeah, they don't really vote much. It's fine. And he went out and said, just simply, I will listen to you, because nobody has listened to you for 200 years. Or basically since the invention of the airplane, until we realized we could fly over you. And that's one of the reasons he won. Husband says he's taking a day off from packing. Well, then we'll lose back. Awesome. Awesome. Well done. Yeah, the 10 swing states, exactly. Those are the only ones that you need to campaign in. And you only really need to campaign hard in ones that are battleground states. Like, there are certain ones you know you're going to win. Red state, that's going to go Republican, because it always votes Republican. Blue state, that's like my state. Nobody needs to campaign in my state. We're not a flyover state. We're not, but we always will vote Democrat. 100% of the time. Although, weirdly, we like Republican governors, but we want Democratic presidents. I don't know. We're weird like that. But anyway, nobody needs to come here. It's going to go blue. It's going to go Democrat. There's no question of that. Our current president can campaign here until he is, well, ironically, blue in the face. He's not going to win our state because we always vote Democrat. So not only, Hawk is exactly right. You only need to campaign in the battleground states, in the ones where it could go either way. So that's, as Hawk says, about 10 of them. About 10 of them. Some years there's a little more or a little less. Some of them are more solid than others some years, but largely. And I'm not a political science major. I'm just talking about life experience. This is what I experience as an American. But largely, you don't really need to campaign much. You just kind of nail those ones down. Coughing fit coming on. One moment, please. Thank you. Electoral college was created to prevent states with large populations from dictating politics in rural states. Yes, but I think, are we basically okay with it just being a popularity contest? Because it's gotten a little squirrely in my lifetime. We all remember Hanging Chads, Bobcat. We all remember Hanging Chads. Great band name. If there weren't 50 bands that called themselves Hanging Chad after that happened, there should have been. Hanging Chad is an awesome band name, especially if you did it in a timely manner. Wyoming has 580,000 inhabitants and 3 electoral votes. And some states get more electoral votes than they should, and others get less. So, if California wanted to drain the Great Lakes to supply LA with water, they have the per-vote power to do that. And I think that's fine. That's totally cool. We've already talked about how we abuse water, and we're just going to waste it all day. So there's a lot of politics talk. I don't usually do a lot of politics, but we're in a very silly time in the United States. It's very weird, and it's still, and we're what, almost 3 years into this. There are still times as Americans where I just kind of wake up and go, wait, did that really happen? It's like every day is waking up from a dream going, really? Really? And then he says something or tweets something. You're like, you can't be this stupid. You actually, I'm sorry, I don't like to do politics because there could be just as many people in chat who support the guy. And if you do, you know what? Live long and prosper. It's your thing. I would prefer not to debate it with you because it's silly, but I kind of don't like to go into... We've just done like 20 minutes of politics, but I don't like to do hard politics like this is right and this is wrong. But so if there's supporters in there, do your own thing. It's totally chill. But I wake up and go, really? Really? This happened? But if you support the dude, that's perfectly your right. And you know what? I'm not brave enough to stand in front of you with a rifle and defend your right, because that's just not me. Much braver people than me do that. But I will verbally defend your right to do that all day long. That I can do for you. where every state had its own presidential candidate. Yeah, that was a little fussy. We kind of narrowed it down to 2. We still are a long way from getting any sort of viable independent candidate or third-party candidate. We get them. I mean, we get them all the time, but viable, like they could actually win kind of thing. And a lot of people look back on some of our independent candidates and go, wow, I wish we'd picked that one. He was right all along. But we don't. We're a long way from any sort of multi-party system. It's one or the other, and in the broadest sense of the in the broadest sense of everything, I kind of feel one's as bad as the other. But I mean, they're both all in it for themselves, as we're learning right now, as they basically carnivorously and cannibalistically devour themselves, and then the other guy wins. That's what's happening right now. They're just devouring each other so they can get because what it is, at the end of the day, what it pays off in is money. That's the thing. So you're Joe Schmo candidate. Nobody's ever heard of you. And you're going to make a stab for president. You're a junior senator from wherever. You're making a stab for president. You're not going to win. You are very clear that you're not going to win, no matter what you present to yourself. When you go home and go to bed at night, you're like, yeah, I don't got this. But what you are getting is exposure. And exposure translates into speaking engagements, and speaking engagements is money. That's what they're fighting for. They're fighting for exposure. To say, remember me, I ran for president. Squig's back, yay! People had no information. The candidates from the other states, they always voted for their own candidate. Situation's different. There's political parties and technology get all information about all candidates. Maybe a little too much information, Hawk, actually. Maybe a little too much information. I think we can basically blow through these guys in the Shrine of Sotak. I think I'm gonna fight it, because I like killing lizards. That's fun. Oh, Squig has to go. Okay, welcome back and bye. Thank you, Squig. Thank you for coming by. Thank you. Reason why the Electoral College no longer has any useful purpose. Yeah, there's too much information now. We've actually got too much information where it's not too much information, it's just nobody knows what is accurate anymore. We've reached that point in the world within the information age that we live in where nobody actually knows what's accurate. It's actually very hard to find out what the actual real truth was in a situation. Lizard's Enemy and Dragon's Dogma. So I assume, since we were talking about it earlier, like you're into that right now. This is like your game of the moment, as it were. Again, I started it and did a little bit of it, and just kind of went, meh. It's okay. It's not the worst game. Not the best game. This is a real hodgepodge army. Not really sure what I was thinking with this army. May have just kind of created this one in bits and pieces. You do have a, not legendary unit, but whatever they're called. You can go over there. And what else have I got kicking around? Oh, Dread Knights over there. Bolt Throwers, of course, right here. Put you on anti-infantry, thank you very much. And you guys should all be on not skirmishing anywhere, thank you very much. Monster right up front, kick this party off. Sorry for the little talk. Germans get carried away and we love to talk about politics. That's fine. That's fine. Again, I've said this many times, Hawk. I really am grateful to have you as a viewer and a fan because you can, not that others can't, but I mean, we have a lot of spirited debates here. I love a debate. I love an argument, and without malice, without saying I'm right and you're wrong. But I love playing devil's advocate. I will tell you the wrong thing just to have fun with the debate, and you do that very well. You're informed. You have your opinions. I don't always agree with your opinions, but they exist, and I respect them, and you can engage in a spirited debate, and I like that about you. And many other folks in chat will do that too. I'm going to kind of stroke your egos here. I really feel I have an extremely intelligent, interactive, educated bunch of viewers. I really dig you guys, because you guys are people I would enjoy talking to in real life. Like, if you came into the restaurant where I work, I'd punch out and hang out at your table and chit chat with you. I'm not saying that to stroke your ego. I'm just saying I am very proud of the viewers and the people in my chat, because you guys are really fun to talk to. I want a spirited debate about whatever you want to throw up here. I may be completely wrong, and Hawk will tell me if I am. But I love having the debate and the talk and the argument about it. Probably play after watching, since we're taking it. Yeah, if you're taking a day off from packing, take a day off from packing. I may take a day off from eating well and eat ice cream. That may be my day off, because it is stupid hot, and ice cream would be the order of the day. And I really should probably make slightly better food choices today, but I just might not. I might just say no and go, you know what, ice cream is totally happening. And I might just bathe in it like I was talking about yesterday, even though I don't have a bathtub, which is weird. It's not weird that I don't have one. I specifically did not put one in this house. We built this house from the ground up, and I said, no bathtub. Bathtubs are gross. You're sitting in your own filth. That's just disgusting. I bet Hawk agrees with me on that. I feel Hawk is a shower person, not a bath person. I'm just going on a limb. I hope he's racing to the keyboard. But I feel, I'm just going on what I know of Hawk, I feel he's a shower person, not a bath person. Because that's, well, it's just better. Everybody knows that. And it's just better. Yep, I knew it. Yep, he said, yep, I am. I knew it. I knew Hawk would be a shower guy. That's something, you know what, Hawk? We don't even need to have a conversation about that. I will hands down walk down the street with you arm in arm and say bathtubs are awful. Baths are awful. It's just sitting in your own filth is what it is. You're sitting in your own muck. Like, why? You're not clean. You're not clean. A shower is cleansing. I can't wait to have a shower when I'm done with the stream. I am going to have to, like, scrape off. Because I got home, again, I got home at 2:30 in the morning. I probably got to bed around 3. So I didn't shower when I came home last night. I mean, I changed into dry clothes, such as it was, but I didn't shower. And I've been sweating all day. I've got about 24 hours of sweat to scrape off my body. And it's going to feel great in a shower. Not a bathtub. Because a bathtub, I'd just be sitting in my own sweaty water, and that's gross. Hawk, you and I were 100% on the same page on this. Don't even have to have a conversation. I am with you on that, man. With you. Okay, I could break the siege to deal with this rebel army, but I'm so not going to do that. Swamptown wants things. What do you want? Do you need public order stuff? I feel we're having a public order issue around here. And yeah, you don't have any public order buildings, do you? Okay, we'll work on that. We'll work on that. Construction's going to be slow here because it's not a great climate. That's going to slow down construction by how much? Cost up 30% and time up 50%. Oh, that is harsh. That is harsh. Random fact with bird brains. The German Panther tank's transmission only had a range of 150 kilometers due to the tank's weight, which means the trains had to be used to transport them long distance when this was not an option. So the tank sucked, is what I'm seeing there. Because 150 kilometers is not that far as I know. So basically you get 150 kilometers and then you have to put a brand new tranny in the thing. That seems really awful. They should not have those, is how I feel about that. Unassigned skill points. Whom? Yastra, hi. Ooh, what do we want out of you? What's sadistic again? Ooh, armor piercing damage plus 12. Yes, please. I'll take that. That's cool. Bjornling's Gathering. Oh, we can get either of these up to... Okay, first of all, bump that up to level 2. And bump... Ooh, doesn't really matter. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. So bump the Troll Fjord up. Now, what's next on the hit list here? What else is in the Ice Drake Fjord? Doomkeep and Longship Graveyard. Okay, Longship Graveyard is right next door. Where's Doomkeep? Oh, it's all the way up there. And there's other stuff in the way. I'll just bet you the Dreadfleet are going to do something dumb like go down and grab the Doomkeep so I can't have it. Okay, well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. They had a good gun and decent armor. The transmission was the main problem. I'd say the transmission was a very main problem. That's a big problem. Panthers were pretty good at destroying allied tanks. Yeah, so long as the tanks weren't 151 kilometers away, apparently. It's just an endurance contest. If the allied tanks can run away faster and get 151 kilometers away, that Panther tank's all done. It's just going to crap out. The training's going to drop out from it. I wonder if enemies would strip them for parts. Probably. Probably would. sure those are perfectly good parts. Yeah, you can go that way, and... Oh, actually, you know what? I didn't want you to go that way. You should have gone to the Longship Graveyard. Okay, that's fine. We can mix and match. You can come down here. We'll just swap you guys over. That'll be fine. And who has skill points they need to be dealing with? Ravenna. Ravenna. What's Mind Razor again? Self-ground and ally. Oh, big old buff again. Okay, super big buff. That would be really nice on an infantry unit. Sure, we'll take that. Might come in handy someday. Unassigned skill points, Erdothane. I don't immediately remember where you're embedded, but let's go with... Panther was faster than the Allied tanks and had a longer range. Right up until 150 kilometers. right up until that point, they're awesome. 151 kilometers, not as awesome as they used to be. Not as awesome as they used to be. I'm just seeing, you know, the Allied generals working out on a map exactly where 151 kilometers is in relation to the tank. Did you know, with Bobcat, the most popular food item during the Apollo missions was the bacon squares? Why is that not the most popular food item all the time? Why did the Apollo missions get to have that? Continued to be part of the space program menu until the mid-90s. Mid-90s. Steve! Oh my goodness! Steve's here! Awesome! Oh, young. Yeah, you're flattering me, sir. I think you're actually... I think you might be younger than me. You're very flattering to me, sir. I am just fine, Steve. It is stupidly hot here, but here we are. We're still doing some Warhammer 2. Oh, you can definitely be immortal, Erdothane, because that's very handy. It's good when you don't die. People appreciate that. How we doing in Maku Peaks here? Wow, you guys had a lot of supplies. Oh, there's the new rebel army. Oh, it's an army of new colony guys. Huh. This is kind of a spawn point for them. Odd that they have nothing else going on here, but that's fine. We'll go up and deal with them. Do we want to... What's going on in Pahaux again? Level 5. Not a crazy garrison. And not a crazy army backing it up. I'm just going to put it under siege and see what happens. Could be repaired in the field. Yeah, we'll siege these guys for a little bit. We'll see if they come out to play. That would be the ideal. Do they have any of those, well, basically the rattling guns, but for lizards? It does not look like it. Good. They're a little cavalry heavy in the army. Their garrison is, well, they've got an ancient stegodon. That's not to be taken lightly. But I have a Hydra I can throw at that. We can do some hot monster-on-monster action there. That'll be fine. Germans had a much harder time to make field repairs because of lack of parts. Basically, they were outnumbered all the time. Yeah. Americans are pretty good at interchangeable parts. Did we invent that, or was that a German thing? Was that Henry Ford? Basically, Henry Ford made interchangeable parts? No, he didn't make it. He made the assembly line. I'm sorry. I'm backing it up right now. Basically, kind of invented the assembly line. But interchangeable parts. Was that us? That feels like an American thing. I feel like that sounds like an American thing we would have invented. Is, hey, you know what? Why don't we just make the same part for the same thing? And that way we don't have to custom make them each time. That sounds like an American thing. But I reserve the right to be 100% wrong on that. Hawk can correct me on that, and I'd be happy to take that. I got confused with Henry Ford because the assembly line thing, where, of course, you would use a lot of interchangeable parts as you put them down the line. Anyway, unassigned skill points, Narian. What do you want to do for a living, Narian? Oh, you should get better at killing people. You are an assassin. That would be handy. Hero not moved. Oh, that'll be Sabioth, coming back from vacation. Let's bring you... Well, just... Oh, no, I want you to check out Mark's the Old One. I want to find out if this is ratty. I bet it's ratty. Oh, it's not ratty. Those are legitimate ruins. Wow. Did somebody take Lord Skrulk out and then just leave these as ruins? I never know what to do. They just pick a random thing. Oh, did I get that? I think I won that. Yay, I got a Terrifying Mask of E. I love those things. Those are fantastic. Cause fear and terror. That would be fantastic if Sabioth was anywhere near somewhere that he was going to cause that. I would love, if that's legit ruins, Boy, I would love to just spin an army down here and grab those super quick. Super, super quick. Who if I got no one in the area? It would take me so damn long to get that to happen. Yeah, we'll just keep moving down there and hope for the best. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Do characters actually go on vacation? No, not at all. The thing with Sabioth is he maxed out really early. He was our first assassin, and he's at max level. He literally cannot get any better than he is right now. And he's over here just kind of watching these two dinosaurs snap at each other because we're in lizard territory here. So he can't get any better than he is right now. So I sent him on this long scouting mission, and then it just kept happening. And he's been all around the world, and now I thought it might be time to actually link him back with something like an army so he could do something for a living. So no, he's not on vacation. He's just been on this extensive circumnavigation of the world, kind of, and now he's almost, something like 100 turns or so later, almost kind of, well, you know what, he's on the same continent as his friends. That's about as far as he got. He's on the same continent. That's the best I can do with him right now. Argyle, on the other hand, you should be exhausted right now because you just murdered somebody, so you're not going to be able to do anything right now. We'll just leave you be. That is fine. And you, oh right, we're gonna tech you up a little bit and get you a little better army. Why don't you come down to, how much infrastructure did I put in Gain Vale? What did I put in here? Not anything at all, really. Okay, nothing that's going to really super help me. Okay, start heading down to Lothern. That'll get the job done. There's enough stuff down there. Yeah, just, I'm going to auto-set you. Just walk down to Lothern. Get here when you get there. And, yeah, I know. Keep walking. Keep walking. Keep walking. There you go. Okay. End that turn. And then see what happens next. My God, it's hot in here. Hexodal are not out of it yet. I'm not seeing a lot of armies on the map as much as I'm seeing a lot of heroes on the map for them. Everything is sweating right now. Me, my cold drink, which has not been cold for about 60 minutes. Literally everything is sweating right now. I think my cat would be sweating if cats could sweat. Nagaron, let's speed through your turn, because you take a really, really long time to do things. You're a super long time. And then we might just poke Nagaron, and I should have over 100k in money right now. Maybe just see if they're up for Confederation with 100k in their pocket. I'm pretty sure we tried it at 75 or 50 before, and they weren't into that. I would have to kind of up the ante on this a little bit. That might be an idea. And while I'm waiting for this turn counter, I should also go like my own stream. Yay. Thank you, phone, for reminding me to watch myself. Appreciate it. What else is going on there? Oh, I have email. Yay. Alright. Wow, you guys take a really long time for that turn counter, even on a good PC. I'm so spoiled by Total War Three Kingdoms, because the turn counter is so fast. It's so fast. Russian tanks use diesel, which was denser, so it acted like extra armor. Wait, fuel acted like extra armor. I'm gonna take your word on that. That I would not wear fuel as armor. I'm just putting that out there. I'm just gonna go ahead and say I would not use fuel as armor. It seems volatile. Raiding. Okay, that'll be one of those rebel armies. What? Okay, what is the correct answer here? Bonus experience and bonus loyalty. Boom. Done. Thank you. Lord not moved. Whom? Yastra. Okay. So you're going to come down here. Actually, can you get... Oh, you're in March mode. That's fine. Just how far are you going to get in regular mode? Not very far, but you may as well go that way anyway. And you are going to swing up this way and head towards Doomkeep. Everyone just keep picking at the north here. We started the war. We may as well finish it. We do still need to do something with public order around here, though. Yeah, gotta kind of keep that public order ticking along. How's the other place moving? That's going a little bit better, and that will even out when I get that building in place there. Absorbed the shell. Okay. Right on. That still seems very, very volatile. I know diesel doesn't actually light on fire easily. I did actually know that. But, you know, it does, eventually. Everything lights on fire eventually. That's kind of, it's kind of the nature of things. Heat something up enough, it's going to light on fire or melt or do something. All right, let's just check in with Naggarond. How you looking? Because my reliability is finally back up to very high. Because I haven't done anything particularly treacherous in a really, really long time, Malekith. And I really want us to be buddies. Super big buddies. You are technically my son. Alright, one more time. Join Confederation. You're not having it. Right. How about if I offer you like a giant pile of money? Just an enormous pile of money. A ridiculous amount of money. How about if you just had all my money? 104,300 monies. Get it? Oh, more. There you go. 117,000, Malekith. You into that? No. Still low success chance. Nope. Nope. I feel they're just kind of hardwired to never accept that. I could be totally wrong. That could not be a mechanic in the game. That could totally not be a mechanic. But I feel it might be from a lore perspective that Malekith will never confederate with Morathi. Because that exists in... There are things like that in Three Kingdoms. There are things like, this guy is hardwired to never do this, so don't bother trying that as a negotiation tactic. So that does exist. Not with temperatures by normal tank shells. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying everything burns eventually. So yeah, did you know with Bobcat, many designs for interstellar spacecraft either use reaction mass or hydrogen fusion fuel as armor against radiation and debris? I can guarantee you I did not know that. So Naggarond, I think we're going to have to call it a day on trying to confederate with Naggarond. I mean, maybe we'll try at 200,000, but I was offering them a ton of money, and it's just a hard no on their part. They're simply not interested. Hero not moved whom, my favorite sweater. Now, you should not be exhausted anymore, but there's also nothing left for you to do down here. There's nobody left to assassinate. You've actually killed everyone. You've done a really effective job at assassinating people. Settlement upgrade, whom? Oh, this one. Okay, the one we sort of just grabbed. Well, let's get this up to level 3, and let's boost all of these things. Seeing as Malekith didn't want my money, but these guys sure do, I might just put a very, very basic military, just in case I needed another one of those trash armies again. That would be fine. And unassigned skill points, Alyssa. Oh, let's keep moving maybe with your armies. Yeah, let's get your monsters a little beefier. That'd be good. And more settlement upgrades. Oh, broken lands. Okay. Right. We haven't been over here in a while since we conquered it. And you can have a little bit more money. That's cool. All right. How's Lustria shaping up down here? Can we just get over to Lustria, please? There we go. Thank you. We're somewhere down in here. Okay, we've got Shrine of Sotek. Hawks is under siege. Wow, these guys have got supplies and a half. 12 turns before they run out of supplies. That's just ridiculous. We're going to have to kick down the door. We don't have that kind of time in our life. I feel I should just generate another army up here. Oh, Fallen Gates. You actually need something to do. Great, you can actually have that. Yeah, I definitely set up a positive military infrastructure down here for the specific reason of training an army. I think I'm going to do that. Start out Hexodal here. It's going to be a couple of turns till we get those higher level monsters, but that's fine. It's going to take me time to build this army anyway. Recruit Lord. What have I got? Hydrons, okay. Sarah, we've already got a Sarah. Yeah, sorry, I can't do multiple names here. Can't go with duplicates here. Fern Harvest. Okay, and you're aggressive, which is nice, but you are coming in the door with a very low loyalty. Werna, Cruel, that is what? Income from raiding. There's 2 Sarahs in the list. We're not doing that. We're just not going to happen. Cadril, your sorceress who's a weapon master. That's kind of counterproductive. Polkesha, you are perceptive. Oh, I do like that. That's magic item drop chance plus up, and you're coming in with a fairly high loyalty. Welcome to the team, Polkesha. Hang out in Hexodal, and I'm going to check you out real quick and see if there's some equipment I can dump on you. Like an Armor of Fortune. And maybe an Ogre Blade. Oh no, have Crimson Death. That's weapon strength up and magical attacks. Give me one of that. Give me one of them, please. And talismans. Do I have any extras? You can have that. Anything around here? Sure, have... Oh, yeah, have the Terrifying Mask of E. I love the Terrifying Mask of E. It causes fear and terror. It's 2 for the price of 1. And guess what? You can have an Elf Servant, because I've got like 5,000 of them. And it's a chance to gain loyalty, which is very good. Bodyguard, sure, you can just fill up on these guys. Deviant Flautist, which is just wonderful. Public Order up. Evil Choirmaster, even better. That's plus 10 public order between the two of them. Actually get a Harem Keeper for another plus 4, but no, let's have income from all buildings. That's pretty good. And what else do we want? Worm Hunter. Recruit rank. Oh, plus 1 for War Beasts. Okay, well, you're probably going to get those, so why don't we just bump that up? It sounds like a Terry Pratchett, Willow. It totally does. It totally sounds like a Pratchett. Right, now, what do I want in your army? What have I got here? What can I start with? Blackguard. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. And I got 5 slots here. Right, give me 4 of them to begin with. I want a nice, beefy front line and 1 bolt thrower to just start the party off, right? And we'll throw another one in there. Yeah, I'm gonna train up a decent army here. And that can, first of all, deal with some of these rebel factions around here. And then we can all, as a team, kind of move south through Hexodal here. We're making a good chunk here in Hexodal. We've taken kind of what is technically Central America here. That's almost ours. Monument to the Moon. I can swing someone over there anytime. That will fall down. Floating Pyramid will fall down. It's all fine. Yeah, this whole area is going to be 100% fine. I think we've basically got Hexodal on the ropes at this point. So that is probably an excellent... when playing as High Elves, I actually didn't care about my front line. I do. I like something to soak up the damage while my archers destroy them. That's whether it's High Elves or Dark Elves. That's pretty much my game plan, is the front line just stands there and takes abuse, so I want them to be super, super tanky, while my missile infantry and anything else is just wrecking them. It's kind of like my go-to tactic. But anyway, I'm going to call the stream for there, guys, because I need a cold shower and a cold anything at this point. I was actually surprised I made it this long. I'm starting to get a pounding headache from the heat of this room right now, so I'm definitely going to call it there. 10 Sisters of Babylon, yeah, you're not wrong. That's a great combo right there. That's not even combo, that's a great line. Can you get your self-burning Britishes? I don't know. Anyway, Squig and everyone else, I will call it there in order to try to stave off this headache that is developing from the insane heat. I'm going to go take a cold shower. There might be ice cream in my world. As you know, really, guys, and whoa, what a great chat we had today. That was just a spirited chat. I should really do this overexhausted way more often. Thank you guys so much for coming out. I love hanging out with you guys every weekend. Even as hot as it was, I didn't want to skip this. I wanted to come out and do this because I love playing this with you guys. It's a ton of fun. Thank you so much for coming out. You know where I'll be. Next week, the Friday stream will be at the regular time, which is 3 my time. And, of course, the Saturday stream is always unchanged. Always unchanged. That guy is hard locked in. So I will check you guys later. You know where to find me if you need me. Thank you again for coming out. Goodbye, and good